Today, I'll be showing you a scenario of someone who has $1.9 million in savings at age 60 and still feels like they can't retire. Over my years of helping clients transition to retirement, I've seen how reaching a specific savings goal doesn't always bring the confidence people expect it would. And that's exactly why I'm making this video today, to show you how even 1.9 million might not feel like enough and what's really holding you back from retirement. Here are the details of the case. So, couple, age 60. They have 1.9 million total in their savings. The majority of that 1.5 million is in their retirement accounts. All traditional 401k, no Roth money. However, recently they've paid off their home and the money they were putting towards their mortgage, they just started saving a high yield savings account. So they've built up $400,000 in a high yield savings account. So again, 1.9 million total. They own a home, no mortgage. They have cars, no loans, no student loans. They have credit cards that they pay off monthly. So they have no liabilities, okay? Their current income, $150,000, 22% tax bracket. However, their current spending, their lifestyle expenses are only $5,500. Through the financial planning process, I was able to show them that their spending capacity was much higher than their current spending. They could spend nearly double, almost $10,000 a month, and sustain that through their retirement. So then I asked them, why haven't you retired yet? They told me they were worried about healthcare expenses. They wanted to work until Medicare, right? Medicare is age 65. They've heard it's really expensive outside of an employer plan, and so they were waiting for that. Also, as we talked more, I realized that each individual in this household had a slightly different perspective on money, right? One was very frugal and an extreme saver and had a hard time spending money, quite frankly, and that's how they've built up the assets that they have. The other one had come to the realization that they were probably living within their means and could spend a little bit more money and would like to spend a little bit more money, especially knowing they don't have a goal to leave behind a lot of money to anyone, and knowing that they're healthy right now. They have energy to travel and experience the world right now, and he doesn't want to miss out on that. And so there's this interesting dynamic, right, that's making them feel like they can't retire because they're worried about future expenses and the uncertainty around that with healthcare. Plus, the one that is a saver really doesn't like seeing their net worth go down or the account balances go down. And so in her mind, she wanted to wait until even Social Security, full retirement age is age 67, to start pulling that money and replace her current paycheck with a paycheck from the government until she felt like she could step away from work. So we have a lot going on here. I was able to help them see that they could retire today, increase their current lifestyle spending, go on the trips that they want to, knock the things off their bucket list that they have in mind, and still have healthcare subsidized by the government. It's not as expensive as they thought. And the reason this is because the premiums for healthcare in the marketplace are not based off your assets. They're based off your income. And because they had all these taxable savings built up, I showed them a plan where they could live off their savings and generate enough taxable income converting money to Roth just to have their income high enough to qualify for these premium tax credits and get the government subsidy for their healthcare, right? And not only are they doing that, they're lowering their future tax liability because in a decade or so, the government's going to start forcing them to take money out of their qualified retirement accounts, right? That's money that's never been taxed. They got a tax deduction to save the money. It grew tax deferred. But when they pull the money out, it is going to be taxable income to them. So by doing little Roth conversions along the way as part of their retirement plan, again, we were able to help them qualify for the premium tax credit, the government subsidized healthcare before Medicare, and we're lowering their lifetime tax bill by getting money into Roth now that's growing tax-free forever until they spend it. We created a bond ladder so they could see exactly how much cash to expect at maturity at each rung of this bond ladder, so they saw exactly where their income was coming from over the next several years, which gave them the peace of mind knowing, hey, the rest of our money that is invested in the stock market is long-term money. Even if the stock market declines or crashes 20% next year, that's not the money we were going to use for our groceries. So we're, psychologically, they are now way better well-positioned to start spending the money that they have accumulated while they're young and healthy to enjoy it. Even though they can fully retire, they've opted to work part-time, but they're doing it in jobs they enjoy, mostly for social reasons. This is an important consideration in the Social Security timing of their retirement income plan, right? Because if you take Social Security before your full retirement age and you still plan to have earned income, well, your earned income is going to reduce your Social Security benefit. So it hardly ever makes sense to draw Social Security while you're still working before your full retirement age. For this couple, where one individual had a significantly higher benefit from Social Security, for them, it made a lot of sense for that person to delay their benefit to age 70, while the other spouse claimed their full retirement age 67. And there's a really good probability that at least one of them lives into their 90s. By delaying primary income earners' Social Security till age 70, that's just making sure that even at passing, the surviving spouse can have that higher benefit through their life expectancy as well. Their Social Security, by the time it kicks in, covers almost 90% of their current lifestyle expenses. Again, from that behavioral framing standpoint, and breaking out the years of income and showing them that plan, they could see that, hey, in the beginning, we may actually be drawing a little bit more from our portfolio than we will in the future, because once Social Security kicks in, we can start withdrawing a lot less from our portfolio, right? And again, they didn't have the goal of dying rich, right? They wanted to use this money. They don't have people to leave the money behind too. Every goal, every situation is unique, right? Some people want to leave behind generational wealth. Well, then we have to plan for that, right? Other people say, if we don't overdraft our last check, we miscalculated. That's all part of the planning process. I love Warren Buffett's quote. He said, I want to leave enough money behind for my children to do something, but not enough money behind that they can do nothing. Anyone who can get to their deathbed and look back without regrets, that is who won the money game, right? That is who used their time, their resources intentionally with their values along the way to make the most out of life. And that was a life well lived. If you would like to discuss your retirement readiness and explore whether you might be closer than you think, click the link below to schedule a complimentary call. Now back to the video. Now, I've laid the groundwork of this scenario. Again, the $1.9 million in total savings, age 60, felt like they can retire. Their retirement plan essentially gave them the confidence to move forward and transition to part-time work in something less stressful in an area they enjoyed. And they've even booked some really cool trips that they've been putting off for a long time. So I'm super excited for them to be at this spot. However, let me give you a cautionary tale. Now, I am working with another couple who is similarly aged. They're in their 60s, and they have almost the same amount of assets, about $2 million. However, they aren't close to retiring because they have higher spending than the other couple. Not just higher spending, they still have a mortgage on their home that is a high monthly payment. From a feasibility standpoint, from a sustainability standpoint, they can't afford to step away from work, continue to make that mortgage payment, and sustain all of their other lifestyle expenses, right? So for them, it makes sense to keep working a little bit longer till they can pay down the mortgage and build up their savings to a point where they can step away and maintain their current lifestyle. Even in that situation, right, it's all about, you have options, and it's all about levers. Whatever is most important to you, right? Every situation's unique. Because if people were willing to spend less, then maybe they can retire sooner, or maybe they can save more now for retirement. Or maybe they can earn more money now or in retirement, maybe through a part-time job, which, all of these are levers that people can pull and adjust to get to their sweet spot. But again, what are we maximizing for? We're maximizing for your life and your values. What is most important to you? Now, after seeing how someone with $1.9 million in savings still is in a situation where they feel like they can't retire, you need to understand that you might not need as much as you think. What I've learned from working with hundreds of clients is that most people aren't struggling with saving for retirement. They're struggling with knowing if what they have is actually enough. The truth is, retirement readiness is not about comparing yourself. It's about understanding your needs and goals and how achievable they are. Now that you understand why 1.9 million doesn't automatically guarantee a comfortable retirement, what continues to surprise me in my wealth management practice is how the size of your nest egg only tells part of the retirement story. Some people with less savings are thriving in retirement, while others with substantial savings like 1.9 million are still hesitating. What matters is not hitting a certain number. It's about having a strategic plan to turn your life savings into reliable income. If you want me to analyze your retirement strategy and show you if you're ready to retire on your current savings, click the link in the description below to schedule a complimentary call. I'll see you in the next one.